my video. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am super happy to have you. Welcome. I hope you enjoy this video. And if you're a returning guest to my videos, then welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I wouldn't be here without you. Now, in this video today, I will be going over basically a huge hack as to how you can start eating healthier. Now, it's not going to be anything of what you've probably seen out there or what you probably think straight off the bat, and you will definitely be shocked by the tips I'm going to give you, but these are all tips that are super easy to apply, and once applied, you're going to see a huge change in your life. I know that you're on here because you want to make that change. I know you're tired of struggling with your nutrition. I know you want to be able to just pick foods accordingly to your goal and not have to fight yourself. And these tips, if applied well, are gonna definitely help you out. Now, a huge shocker, which is the part 2 of this title, is that yes, they're all behavioral changes. And no, it's not gonna be anything about nutrition itself actually, but these play a huge impact on your nutrition if you do change them, okay? Now, before I get into the tips, make sure you stay for the very last tip, because the last tip is the most important tip of them all, and I suggest that always to all of my clients, and I highly suggest that you uptake that tip as well and focus on that one first before everything else. But because it's so important, I want to leave it to the very end, just as a little surprise for you. So let's get started. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So tip number 1 is that you want to make sure that your environment is a healthy environment, meaning that you want to make sure that you don't have too many things lying around that are going to prompt you into making bad decisions. And that could mean family and friends, but that can also mean just having junk food lying around if you don't want to eat junk food as much. So paying attention to what you bring into the house is super, super crucial. And I always suggest this for my clients if they're struggling, to look at what their partner, significant other is doing maybe, or what their friends are doing. And if they're around friends that are constantly not valuing health as much as they wish to value it, then being around them less, or at least telling them that this is something that you value, will help you make that change, because then they can support you more, rather than if they don't know, obviously they won't be able to support you. And then the whole aspect of having healthier food inside your house will help you actually make healthier decisions. If you only have whole foods in the house, you're gonna resort to only eating whole foods, because what else are you gonna eat? And the mind, it's smart, but it also plays a trick on us, and it sees these junk foods as a very easy source of energy, right? Because calories are energy regardless, and junk food is a high amount of calories. So they know that if you consume this junk food, that in a short amount of time, you're gonna be more energized. So by limiting that in your household, you won't give your brain that chance to cheat you, okay? Number 2 is to manage your stress. Now, I know you probably read about stress, or you have people telling you you shouldn't be so stressed out, and it is really, really hard to just flip a switch and not be stressed. And I can say that with 100% that I struggle with that too. But there are certain things that I do when I reach a certain extent of stress where I see it is affecting my life. And I think it's super important to be aware of how much stress is impacting your life. On a day-to-day, if you're a little bit stressed, it's very normal. And without stress, we wouldn't be acting and taking control. However, a lot of us also tend to shut down with too much stress, or we resort to food for comfort, or we get so distracted that we forget to do certain things, or we don't exercise then, and then we end up being hurt that we haven't done those things. So a few things that help me manage my stress is 1, journaling down things that I'm grateful for. That's a huge thing that has helped me over time, is just journaling down my gratitudes, all those things. Even the smallest things, like just having a roof over my head, is something that I can be grateful for. And usually at the times when it's hardest to do, that's when it's the most important to do. Another thing that I like to do is I also like to go over my wins. By going over your wins, you are already on a better standing than you were. And we can all stand for this. I'm sure that when you are stressed out, you tend to put yourself down, right? And you tend to only see the bad. So by making an effort to account for your wins, you'll be a little less stressed out. Number 3 ways that I manage my stress is just even taking like 3 to 5 minutes to read 1 to 2 pages of a book every day, or during that period of time when I'm really stressed out. And the reason that helps a lot is because it's a total different mindset of what's going on in your head. So by switching things up a little bit, you are giving your brain the chance to think differently. And usually the books that I suggest for my clients are something along the line that will help them develop themselves and learn more about themselves. But again, if this is a book that will make you fall asleep and not enjoy it at all, then find other books that you will enjoy. And lastly is just getting in movement. Sometimes just simply going for a walk can do wonders, and I have felt a huge difference going in nature as well, not just like amongst the city, but going in the woods and walking, whether by myself or most of the time with Novette. It has just helped me really disconnect with the things that stress me out, which is technology, and it grounds me and makes me feel better. Okay, and by you managing your stress, trust me, you're managing your food, your nutrition, and even your workouts is gonna be far more easier. And then the last tip, the last and the most important tip is to manage your sleep and better your sleep. Yes, I said that. It is sleep. Sleep is so important. I can't emphasize that enough. Like, I really can't. And usually this is one of the first things that I ask my clients is whether they are getting enough sleep, because there's so many studies out there saying how not only, yes, you know that you will be more productive and you will be more energetic, but did you know that with the lack of sleep, you could be doing the same routine, same exercises, same nutrition, but if you lack sleep and your friend who's doing that same routine and exercise and nutrition is good with sleep, you won't see as much results as they will. And that just goes to show with how much recovery is important for our body, and without proper recovery, our body will start to hold on to certain things for an in case moment, believing that what you are going through right now by you not sleeping enough is a moment of stress and a period of where it has to protect you in order for you to survive. So it goes down to the caveman ages, and we can thank our caveman genetics for that. But sleep, I cannot say that enough. Sleep, sleep, sleep. So how do we better our sleep? So for my clients, I don't tell them, oh, get 8 hours of sleep, because every body is different, and maybe you only need 7 hours and maybe your friend needs 8 hours. So it's different for everybody, but there are a few things that we can do to make the most out of our sleep. And maybe you can't even sleep that long. So these are the few things that have helped me make sure that I get a better sleep, better quality sleep, and that my clients get a better quality sleep. And one of those things is not being exposed to social media too late at night, because our mind is really wired, and we know that once we get into social media, it's really hard to get out of it. Okay, number 2, watching your exposure to blue light. So your laptops, phones, TV, those type of things tend to impact the quality of sleep, and there is science behind it. So if you guys want me to go into sleep a little bit more, I definitely can. But blue light blocks our secretion of melatonin, which is the hormone that makes us fall asleep better. So the way we can prevent that from happening is by using blue light blockers, which are glasses usually, that will help prevent us from absorbing the blue light, and they're super trendy right now, so I mean, why shouldn't you? But another way you can do it is just make sure that the settings on your phone are warm light settings, and that should also help you out if you can't get the blue light blockers right away. Number 3 is actually being out in the sun as much as possible. The sun will help your body secrete melatonin because you get serotonin. A lot of hormones in there, a lot of words in there, but basically being exposed to the sun will help your body be able to get into a better state of sleep at nighttime. And lastly though, one other thing that I tend to use, not too frequently but at sporadic times, is CBD oil or tinctures. And CBD tinctures are not marijuana, they're not weed. It's not going to make you high. It is derived from the hemp plant, but it is without the THC, and CBD is something that our bodies naturally produce, but sometimes not enough. So by consuming CBD tinctures, it helps alleviate anxiety and stress, but it has also shown dramatic increases in sleep quality in many people, and I myself and even Novek can attest to that. And we've been using the Lush CBD, which is a local company in Vancouver here, and it has helped us sleep a lot. So just to go over all those tips again for you, just to make sure they're in your brain or on a piece of paper, is that 1, you want to make sure your environment is safe and it supports your goal. Okay, it can be your friends, family, or the food you have around you. Number 2 is you want to make sure that you are managing your stress, because stress plays a huge role on what you do and don't do and what choices you make. And number 3, sleep. Sleep plays a huge impact, and without good quality sleep, you will also make poor decisions like opt for junk food and stuff like that because you're looking for extra energy. So optimizing your sleep with the few tips that I gave you earlier will help you. By implementing all of these tips, will help you get more out of the nutritional habits that you're trying to build, and help you start implementing more and more of those healthy habits and keep them in place without having to struggle too much and keep bouncing back. So if you found this video helpful, I hope you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so that you're notified when my videos do come out. Thank you so much for hopping back on this video, or if you're new, thank you so much for clicking here and being interested in your health, and I hope this video has helped you.